Hi, my name is Dr. Chandra Smallwood. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. I want to switch it up a little bit. I talk about anxiety, but I want to start talking about anxiety for entrepreneurs because I'm an entrepreneur. So let's get into it. So when you think about entrepreneurialism, you think about hard times, low money, maybe at first, then, sky's the limit. You think about lots of work, lots of hours, lots of thinking, lots of everything, lots of trying new things, lots of late nights, early mornings, all that stuff, right? But when it comes to anxiety, we think, okay, it just comes with the territory. We should be anxious. One of the things about anxiety causes people to go into like leadership roles. Anxiety causes people to move forward, to push themselves because you're anxious. Anxious about what? Not having money, not having the life that you want, maybe one day regretting things. So on one hand, anxiety is good because, like I said, it gets us from A to B. It pushes us forward. But in another sense, it's bad because it always so stops us from working on what we need to do. So the difference between this is it just normal, healthy anxiety, or is it turning into an anxiety disorder? And anxiety disorder doesn't have to last forever or anything like that. It can last for at least 6 months, and it encompasses all sorts of worrying and fear and overthinking and everything like that. Now, I try not to talk about anxiety in like a medical sense, as in using like big words and things like that, talking about the things that's happening in the brain with the amygdala and all that, because nobody really understands that. If you want that, I can give that, but for the most part, as an aspiring entrepreneur that knows a lot about anxiety, what do I want to share with other entrepreneurs that are out there? First, anxiety has a lot to do with procrastination, right? A lot of times we take our time doing the things that we may need to do, or the hard things, right? Like there's lots of things that I do. Like I have an Etsy store, like I do YouTube, I do Instagram, not as consistently as I want. I also have a job and I have daughters and, a house that I have to take care of. So sometimes I procrastinate. But when it comes to the procrastination, it's really my prioritizing. Like I procrastinate on the prioritization because there's only so much time in a day, right? So sometimes I put things I need to do to the wayside to do other things such as clean. We have to clean, of course, but it's like, do I have to clean right now? Or am I cleaning right this second because there's something else that I should be doing that I really kind of don't want to do right now? So instead, I'm going to clean it because I'm still busy. I'm still feeling busy. I'm still being productive, but I'm not being productive in the thing that's going to help me make money. The thing that's going to cause me to have an income generating asset in the future, that's not the thing I'm working on right now. I'm cleaning. So that's a form of procrastination that I feel like entrepreneurs can fall into a lot of the times. Because that personality, you're always busy, right? You're always doing something. You're here, you're there, you're networking, you're, trying to get this done, get that done, post here, post there, social media, content, blah, blah, blah. But we lack at times the priority of, what needs to be done. So first, that causes anxiety, right? We cannot procrastinate on the things we need to do and just stay busy doing other things. right? If you do not have to sweep the floor tonight and you know you have something else you need to do, just put the broom down. Just don't do it. Because the next tomorrow, when everything starts again, you have the anxiety of, oh, I didn't get to do that thing last night. And then you feel non-productive because you didn't do anything that was helping you further your business or helping you make money or helping you, form relationships. You were just sweeping the floor, but you were still productive that night, but not for the next day. Also, number 2, money. So one of the things I've noticed that has happened in this journey of mine is you tend to rack up subscriptions, right? Like, there are some free subscriptions, of course, IG, Facebook, depending on, what kind of what kind of profile you have. I mean, now people are paying for check marks. I know it's like a monthly fee. I don't pay for that, so I don't know. We pay for Canva. We may pay for a hashtag service. We may pay for later.com. We may pay for Photoshop, InShot, Kittl, you name it, there's a paid subscription out there for it. So we pay for these subscriptions at times, and it kind of takes away from the bottom line at times. And once, I think it goes into that productivity thing again, because you have to be like, say, okay, I have an Etsy store, for instance, the Mind Fitness store, just if anyone is interested. I try to make positive messages, try to put positive messages on shirts and things like that, like things that I feel like would bring calm to someone's life. So check it out. But anyway, I wanted to work on some customization of stuff, and I was gonna do a certain site. And I started paying for the site, but I hadn't used it yet. And since Etsy is something that's newer to me, I probably don't need to pay for that right now because I just, working on the fundamentals, getting some sales, working on my designs and things like that, let alone working on doing extra stuff when I'm really not making money from the stuff I'm starting out to do. So I think that that's one thing that we need to be careful of, because when those subscriptions start hitting month after month and that money is going away and you really don't see it, you're kind of nickeling and diming, $20 here, $30 here, $9 here, $5 here, $4 here. You're taking away all this money and you just don't realize. Then one day you look at your account and you're like, wait, that money's gone. And it might not be that much money, but it all adds up if we don't pay attention to what we have, because on top of the entrepreneurial subscriptions, we have our regular life prescriptions, Netflix, Hulu, Peacock, all sorts of stuff, right? And then you have your life insurance and your car insurance and your house insurance, and everything else is just subscription after subscription after subscription, and it all adds up in the long run. So we need to make sure that we know what subscriptions we have and that they are something that we really, really need. If not, let it go. We need to get out of the mindset of, oh, we can just it doesn't feel like anything. You're like, oh, it's just $20. It's just $20 a month. That's not nothing. Yeah, until you have $20 over 10 subscriptions. I say prescriptions because I'm a pharmacist, but subscriptions. And then next thing you know, it's $200 just randomly, like out of nowhere. Mostly for probably things you don't even use. Another thing that has to do with money and entrepreneurialism is, I was listening to Myron Golden, and in the video that he was displaying, or he was talking about, he was talking about us, you become an entrepreneur and it's kind of like you bought a job, like you have a job, but it's the same, it's in a way it's kind of the same thing as working for someone in a way, because you're doing all of the work, right? And you're probably not making that much money, but you have less time. You may make more money, but you have less time because you started your entrepreneurial journey, and everyone knows that takes hella time. And then and that was kind of like, okay, entrepreneurs, people that don't make crazy amounts of money, and then there's the rich. So the rich people, they use their money to form other ways of making money, right? Like, for instance, like an Airbnb or stocks or option trading or renting something. You have a YouTube channel and maybe you have a studio, and he's talking about how his rent for his studio is $5,000 a month, yet he makes like $40,000 a month from his YouTube. So it's paying for itself, in a way. And so we have to really think about how we are using our money in a way of making more money and not working for someone else, but not doing all the work either. We need to, make sure that so with your content day, you do the content, you get it done, and then you may send it to an editor, right? So you send it to an editor and they get it done for you, right? And then you have extra time to do something else. I a lot of times bypass an editor and edit my own videos because I want to have control of everything and I can do it on my own timeline. But sometimes I don't have the time because I have the girls and they're, my priority no matter what. So in 2024, if you haven't already focused on it, focus on delegating some of the things to other people. Like me, I need a VA because I suck at sending emails and I'm not a writer. I don't really like to write. And if I do write, it's very matter of fact and kind of short. Like when I wrote my book about anxiety, I was able to write stories of the times I was super anxious or how I dealt with it or the research that I've done. It was all like matter of fact. It's not super creative writing. It's just this treatment. How to do it. Let's do it. Right? Let's just do it. Let's just get it done. So that is, how I did that. But anyway, let's put into place whatever we need to do, things that we need to do that give us more time so we can make more money, and focusing the money that we do have into things that make more money, more time to make more money to make more money. So let's not be afraid of the things that make more money because they may take some time to put into place. Like Myron Golden was talking about systems. We have to have systems in place, right? That's why a lot of people and entrepreneurs have CRMs, because, it's somewhere where you can send out everything together, posts, emails, you can just automate things, funnels, and everything like that. But there's a learning curve to that too. But I digress. Let's stay on task. So yeah, when it comes to our money, let's try to keep the making money part key, because that's super important. Like a lot of times, most of the time, maybe 95% of the time, that's what entrepreneurs are anxious about, right? Money. Another thing is fear. And this has definitely been the hardest thing that I have realized in this journey, is just being afraid to do certain things. Like, I'm super open on my YouTube channels, if you watched my YouTubes. And I've been open on my YouTube channel because I don't know who really watches my YouTube channel. Like, I don't know, it's people that I know or don't know or whatever else. So I don't really have fear of saying like all sorts of random stuff and putting myself and my life out there because I don't know. But when it comes to like IG, like I know who follows me, I know who comments on my videos, like I know who I follow and things like that. So sometimes I've definitely had time when one person will stop me from posting a video because I'll think, what will this one person think? Why in the world do I care about this one person? What am I afraid of? That what, they're gonna judge me? That they're not gonna like me? Like, should I even care? I shouldn't care. We have this one life to live. I mean, I'm over 40, so I don't know if you would say I'm on the other side, maybe, but once you reach a certain time in life, like, we're dying. So we need to not worry so much about certain things because we want to get to the end of our life and have our kids be set up for the future as well as have no regrets. So let's work on our fear, because fear is also, it's decreasing our money. It's decreasing the time that I should be putting myself out there to the world and sharing the gift that I have of, I want people to relax. I want to give people information to help them know how to relax, to work on their relaxation. But random amounts of fear have stopped that. So, and I know that the fear is the hardest thing. And I realize that we have to learn to just fight through the fear, right? And no one wants to hear that. Like, I didn't want to hear that. Like, it never gets better. I think you just start caring less. You just start giving less fucks. And I think that's why giving less fucks is such a popular thing, because no matter what, the fear is still there. You just are like, whatever, let's just continue to move on. And when you think about anxiety, fear and worry are by far the two like ingredients that make up anxiety. We are scared of all sorts of things. The other thing that kind of goes into anxiety is thinking about just crazy things happening. Like, when you're anxious, you tend to be anxious about things that may never happen, ever. Like in my last video I did about worry, like we tend to worry about things that are, let's see, like I worry if I don't order laundry detergent, I'm not going to be able to wash my clothes and I may need something to wear for work the next day. But when it comes to anxiety, it tends to be something crazy like, I worry that on my way to work, there's going to be an earthquake and the freeway is going to crumble under my car and I'm going to plummet however many feet, and my car is going to be totaled and I may not be alive. Who knows? That is kind of how anxiety goes when it comes to worry. And I think when it comes to like entrepreneurs and why we talk about saying and putting into like the universe what we want and saying it and writing it and being really intentional about those things, we need to be intentional about the things that we want, because if not, anxiety will kind of take us a different way. The bad anxiety, the anxiety disorder type things. Well, the anxiety disorder will cause us to talk in the negative and not believe in ourselves, not believe that we can do these things that we know we can do. So a few things that we can do to help with all of these situations is, one, to try not to rush. And when I say not rush, I mean wake up in the morning and give yourself enough time to think about or write down what needs to be done for the day. Prioritize. Pick a day to do something, like a content day or an email day, or some kind of day where you just like put things on the schedule and kind of knock them out. One of the best ways to decrease anxiety is to plan things out. Because anxiety is a big fear of unknown. It's about unknown everything. It's just a fear of unknown that kind of tumbleweeds into a lot of catastrophic thinking. So if we put more known factors into place, such as planning, we can help to decrease that a lot more. As well as it'll help us be more consistent, which will help us get our money up, right? So for this episode, the only piece of advice I want to give is to not rush. To not rush, as in give yourself enough time. In every video, I want to give one thing to work on, because we're already trying to work on 20 million things as it is, right? And that is how I've been feeling lately, trying to get everything done. I feel like there's definitely not enough time in the world, not enough space to think. There's not enough, I don't have enough hands, I don't have enough mouths, I don't have enough energy to do a lot. So I'm trying to streamline it and help others as well as help myself decrease the anxiety. I've been feeling really anxious lately, which I haven't felt in a long time. And I really have been feeling anxious because there's a lot of kind of good things that are happening in my life right now and a lot of freedom that I'm feeling. And with that, I'm feeling anxiety because I know I can push myself more. Like, I'm anxious about the fact that, I mean, it's good anxiety. I'm anxious and it's pushing me forward. It's pushing me to work harder. Because I feel like I'm getting to a point where what was kind of a dream is now coming more into reality, and I'm super happy about that and everything like that. So I want to share and help and, be open. And coaching people with anxiety is how I really started this entrepreneurial journey. So I would love to help anyone or talk to anyone who is an entrepreneur who has issues when it comes to anxiety, because sometimes you feel stuck, sometimes you can't think, sometimes you just can't give yourself a break. I'm here to provide that for you and for myself. So let's work together to just get this shit done, so we can be the best that we can be and make the money that we want to make. So see you in the next video. Thank you so much for listening. Let's go.